Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be reviewing green Irish Tweed for you guys today. I know this is kind of bright with the light. It's a fragrance from Creed, if you didn't know. And I do have a little bit of a history with this fragrance. So, if you guys would like to know what I think of green Irish Tweed, and if I think it's worth the Creed price tag, then keep watching. Real quick, I do have to get into a few little things before I start the review. And if you guys are new to my channel, I can't shut up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to timestamp below when the actual review starts. That's right, friends. You don't have to sit through me talking if you do not want to. You can jump right ahead, so it's right below. First and foremost, I will always be transparent with you guys and let you guys know when a company has sent me something. But this was not sent to me to review though, so I'm going to be honest and let you guys know that this was sent to me by Max Aroma. Please excuse the blue fingers, I just dyed my hair blue. If it makes you wonder, my ears are blue and also under my glasses, so this is how I'm living my life. Anyway, this is one of their pocket perfumes. They used to have different atomizers, and actually when I reviewed one of their fragrances that they sent me to review like a month or two ago, which was another Creed fragrance, it was Royal Princess Oud, I will link that below. They asked me if there was any pocket perfumes I wanted them to send in the package just to have as like a nice gesture and a way to say thank you for reviewing and talking about them. And I mentioned one of the fragrances I wanted was green Irish Tweed. Now their old atomizers was the kind that you filled from the bottom with like one of those little squishy things, squishy, like that. Anyway, it leaked everywhere, and I actually mentioned that in my video. And they were getting a lot of complaints from customers about their atomizers, and so they changed it up. They got new atomizers, which I thought showed really great integrity on their part, because it's not cheap to do that. They had to get rid of all of their old stock, get new stock, have a completely new way of doing things. And I thought it showed a lot of integrity that they did that. And these are much nicer. These are very similar to the kind you get from Luxury Scent Box or Scentbird. Kind of go in like this and work really well. I love it. So I just kind of want to give them a shout out for that. If you were concerned or didn't like the previous atomizers, they did change it up. They did not send this to me to say that, and they did not ask me to review green Irish Tweed. That is not why they sent it. They sent it just as a nice gift to say thank you, and it was very nice of them to send it to me. But with all of my reviews and all my videos, and anytime someone sends something to me, I will always be transparent and let you guys know. So that's me letting you know. That being said, whenever I've worked with Max Aroma too, they've been fantastic, and I've said if I don't like this, I'm going to rip it apart, and they're like, go for it. So that's good on them too. But this fragrance I have a history with. And it was one of the first Creed fragrances I ever tried, actually. It was actually at the fragrance store when I worked at that, my first job. Like, at this point, 17 years ago. That's right, friends. I am going to be 33 in 3 weeks, and I got my first job when I was 16. So, yeah, that's 17 years ago. The really cool thing about that store was their impressive fragrance collection. I was the fragrance girl, and I fell in love with Creed. It was my first time really delving into the world of fragrance. I knew about the fragrances my mom liked. My mom really liked Jessica McClintock. She liked Tatiana from, forget who does that. Oh man, I forget that. It's her favorite fragrance too. She's gonna, like, in the comments, you'll see her remind me. Thanks, Mom. Just letting you know ahead of time. Tatiana was one of her favorite fragrances. And I loved Happy from Clinique. I knew Elizabeth Arden Green Tea was one of my favorite fragrances. And like the Gummy Bear and Cotton Candy ones from the drugstore. So this was like a completely different world for me. And Creed just blew me away with their quality. I really loved their juice. And green Irish Tweed was the very first one I tried. And I immediately just loved it. I wore it to school a few times. I had a little sample of it. Really, really liked it. And it came time for me to purchase my first fragrance with my first paycheck. I almost bought this one actually, but I really had fallen in love with light blue, so I ended up getting that one. So when I first was introduced to Creed, I kind of didn't know what niche was, and I thought that like Chanel was the most expensive fragrance you would buy. Now Chanel is still expensive, especially when you look at their list exclusives. But when you're looking at a bottle of $120 perfume, and then you're looking at a bottle that's $400, you're kind of sticker shock, blown away. But over time, I really started to appreciate different fragrances and learn about different fragrances. And Green Irish Tweed always stuck in there as the very first creed I ever tried, and I always really loved it. Not in a bottle of it yet, though. I don't know why I keep talking myself out of it, but I do. So let's get to the review. So I have a bit of a history with this fragrance. I really liked it. I would always recommend it to people who would come in if they were looking, and I have blue hands too. They're looking for a fragrance for their father or for their mother who like to wear unisex fragrances, or a gift for somebody that they needed to get a really nice gift for but they didn't know what to get. I always recommend Green Irish Tweed, and it always went over well. So let's talk about this fragrance, and this is at the point where I'm time-stamping it. Hello, welcome back, and we're going to talk about this fragrance. Now, I'm going to be giving you guys a review on what I remember 16 years ago, but I'm going to be basing most of my review on this juice right here, which is the newer, or I don't know the exact batch code, but it's definitely one of the newer formulations. Now, I got my notes from base notes as always, but I do agree that these are the notes that I pick up. So if you pick up anything else, feel free to let me know in the comment section below. I always like to have conversations and be corrected. But the notes that I pick up in this predominantly in the opening is lemon and verbena. Now, verbena is a, to me, kind of a very vegetal, kind of bitter, very green, herby herbal note. It kind of reminds me of a mix between like grass and like lemon, but no citrus. Then you got the lemon, works really well with verbena. They work really, really well together, very much hand in hand. Verbena is a little bit more bitter. It plays very well with the lemon, kind of cuts down any sweetness or juiciness the lemon might have and makes it a little bit more crisp, but still has a really nice green note to it. The middle notes are iris and violet leaf, and I love that the iris gives it a touch of powderiness way in the background. It works really well to round everything out. And then the base notes are sandalwood and ambergris. Now ambergris and verbena are the two notes I get almost immediately. It's that really beautiful kind of like marine smoothness with that gorgeous like green herbal note. They really play together really well in this. I like when the iris comes, it gives it just a touch of powder, and then the sandalwood just gives everything something to hold on to. It's really, really nice. Now, you guys know I love this fragrance, so obviously this is going to be a positive review, but I did kind of want to touch on a few things. First and foremost, you guys, if you are unfamiliar with Green Irish Tweed, again, it's been around since 1985. It is just a year younger than I am. It is one of the fragrances that most people know when they think of Creed. Currently now, when people think of Creed, they think of Aventus. At least a lot of people in the fragrance community, but Green Irish Tweed is the one that I think that most people, when they came in asking for Creed, or when people are talking about their favorite Creed that they've been wearing forever, generally it's Green Irish Tweed. As I don't know if I mentioned it before, but I'll definitely mention it now, there's going to be links below to other people who have reviewed Green Irish Tweed, because I'm giving you a consumer review. I am not an expert, and I will keep saying that until the day I die, because I will never be an authority on anything, but that's okay. I'm giving you guys a consumer review. So it's even people who don't like Creed like Green Irish Tweed, generally. They can at least appreciate that it's not a bad fragrance. But some people that like Creed don't like Green Irish Tweed. They think it's too basic, it's too not exciting enough. And the thing that I like most about Green Irish Tweed is the fact that it isn't exciting. There's something really comforting about it. There's something very familiar about it. There's something that it's almost like you're being enveloped in something warm and luxurious and velvety. And it just smells just like a warm hug, but from a sexy man or woman or whoever's sexy you want to hug you. That's what it smells like. And that's what I love about it most. There's something very sexy and comforting and just very grounded about this fragrance. Now, even though this is a heavy fragrance, this is definitely be considered a heavy fragrance, there's something about the mix of the ambergris, lemon, and verbena that makes this really great to wear during the daytime, especially if you're one of those people that constantly want to wear heavy, overpowering fragrances, but you live in an environment that you can't usually do that because there's humid and hot all the time. I'm talking about me here. I can barely, if ever, wear heavy fragrances, even though they are my favorite. I love a really good heavy fragrance that just kind of envelopes you and just almost suffocates you in all the positive ways. And this, the verbena, the lemon, and then that kind of like almost aquatic note that you get in the background from the ambergris really does a fantastic job at working fantastically in heat and humidity without oppressing you, without making you feel too hot or too choking. It just works really, really well. It's a very versatile fragrance. It works very well. You can dress it up, you can dress it down. You can wear it again to the grocery store or to get gas. You can also wear it to an important interview or to a hot date. You can pretty much do whatever you want with this fragrance, which is why I think it's also one of the better investments from Creed. On top of that, it has fantastic longevity. It lasts about 6 to 8 hours on my skin, and it tends to project pretty nicely past arm's length, but the scent cloud or scent trail, whatever you want to call it, is very pleasant. Again, it's something that people are going to gravitate towards and really enjoy being around you when you wear this fragrance. It's very easy to understand. It's not one of those fragrances that are more conceptual where people are smelling it and they're like, what the hell are you wearing? They're going to ask you and they'll be like, what the hell are you wearing? You know, like they're going to ask you what you're wearing because generally they're going to like it. Very easy to understand. It's very universal. Although it is marketed as a masculine scent, you guys know, I think fragrances are genderless. Anyone can wear anything whenever they want. It doesn't matter what you identify as, what genitals are between your legs, how old or young you are, or where you're going. Pretty much you can do whatever you want. This is one of the fragrances that I think just plays beautifully and sexy on anybody that wears it. So if you're unsure of a fragrance and you're trying to like jump into masculine fragrances, maybe you really just only like feminine fragrances but you're kind of like dipping your water, it's a great one to try out. I think it's really, really sexy, really, really manly, but there's something just really like empowering about it when you're a woman and you're wearing it. Really dig that. On top of it, it's also a fantastic fragrance to wear if you're trying to get into the house of Creed. Now, Creed is very expensive, we all know that. Even when you buy it on the gray market from discount sites, you're still going to be paying a pretty penny, at least $100 for a bottle, sometimes 2 or 3, depending on the bottle and which site you get it from. So you're still making a decent investment with these fragrances. If you're unsure of Creed and the quality of Creed, and if you like Creed, or you just want to add 1 or 2 fragrances to your collection from Creed, I definitely recommend Green Irish Tweed. It's a fantastic introductory Creed fragrance. I recommend it even more than Aventus. So you guys know I don't get the hype around Aventus, but I do like Aventus and I do want to buy a bottle of Aventus. But I definitely think that there are more fragrances out there that deserve a little bit more hype from Creed, and this is definitely one of them. But it is very much a beloved, loved, established fragrance from the House of Creed, and from fragrance in general. People tend to gravitate towards it, and I think it does deserve all the love and adoration that it gets. Overall, I really like this fragrance. Again, I was a little shy about doing this review, especially 2 Creed fragrances in 1 week. I don't want to be that person that just constantly finds reasons to review Creed. But I definitely have been wanting to talk about this one for a while. So yeah, that is my review on Green Irish Tweed. I would love to know your thoughts, good or bad. Am I wrong? Am I right? What experiences do you have with Creed? Is there anything similar that's cheaper, or maybe you're like, this is the best, just go for it? Let me know in the comment section below. You guys know I love to have a conversation with you guys. And as always, if you like this review, remember to give this video a thumbs up. It lets me know to continue doing videos like this. And also don't forget to subscribe because it's free and I'm free. I put out new videos every Monday through Friday and sometimes on the weekends as well. So I'll always have something free to watch. In any case, I hope you guys are all happy and healthy and have a great day, month, year, whatever. I'll see you next time.